Let's talk about IMAT logical reasoning. Now, when it comes to IMAT logical reasoning, it's similar to the UCAT decision making and logical reasoning part, but slightly different as well. Now, IMAT has always been a comprehensive test that gauges not just the medical acumen of aspirants and also their understanding of text and their ability to think critically and their grip on general knowledge as well. So, here you have GK, logical reasoning, critical thinking, and all of that. And this section delves into the reading skills and the knowledge acquired in studies. The essence of this section lies in assessing the candidate's aptitude in understanding intricate texts in English from varied genres and objectives. So basically, what happens here is, like in UCAT and decision making, there are sometimes, other than syllogisms, sometimes there are puzzles, logical puzzles. Like a lot of data is given to you. Suppose this member in the family likes this food, this member in the family likes this food, this member does not like this food, they all like this color, this, that. So then the questions will come, who likes this color and this food? Questions like that. So sometimes you will have questions like that over here, so that when you are given a variety of questions, a variety of types of questions, and not all of these questions will be medically related. Sometimes there'll be random logical reasoning questions. So it is to purely test how well you can analyze different information that is given to you. Something that is not related to you at all, something that you have not studied specifically for, and all that, but still, given the data that is given to you, how well can you answer the questions based on that data? That is what logical reasoning is about. Okay. Now, let's go out to the scoring part. Now, in the scoring part, these questions are made to check how well you can finish logical arguments given on the based on the given statements. Like I said, you'll have some statements given and some logical arguments will be given. You have to finish those. Basically, answering questions. It's just a fancy way of saying you have to answer logical reasoning questions. Okay. These statements might be expressed in symbols or words. They might be presented in abstract problems or scenarios also. Like it might have abstract reasoning. Sometimes it may be a tabular form. It could be anything. Basically, problem statements will be given to you, and based on that data, you have to solve the problems. That's all. To solve them, you need to use various types of logical thinking and various strategies also. Sometimes you will have to use just your mental capacity. Sometimes you'll have to write that data in a very organized manner to make sense of the entire data that is given to you. So this is how scoring is done in the logical reasoning part. Now let's look at the pattern. Now, when it comes to the pattern of logical reasoning, we have around 4 to 5 questions. Okay. And unlike UCAT, in IMAT, there are some negative marking for wrong answers. Okay. In UCAT, there is no negative marking, but in IMAT, if you get the correct answer, you get 1.5 points. If you get a wrong answer, you get minus 0.4 points. Okay. And if at all you do not answer a question, if you skip a question, then 0 points. That's the thing. So, like in UCAT, there is no negative marking. So, leaving a question unanswered is a crime. But here it is very, very, very important. Okay. That you answer a question if and only if you are 100% sure about the question. Otherwise, please don't mark it. Because of that minus zero point 0.4, you might lose upon some percentile scores in the end. Okay. So answer a question in IMAT if and only if you're 100% sure about the answer, and otherwise don't. Let's look at the tips of success. Again, read the statements carefully. Do not make any assumptions of the data. Like I said, if the question says that the sun rises in the east, sorry, if the question says that the sun rises in the west, then the sun rises in the west. That's all. If the question says that cows can fly, then cows can fly. There is no argument against it. Okay. So do not make any assumptions about the data. That don't assume that, oh, in my life, I've never seen a cow fly. So that might be wrong. No, don't think like that. No assumptions. You only know whatever is given to you in the statement. That's it. Use a grid and a table system to organize the data. Like I said, sometimes a table will help you organize the data and make sense of the whole thing. And do not base your answers on your own beliefs. And of course, practice, practice, practice. You have to practice a lot. Okay. And one more thing is, see, in many of the questions in verbal reasoning as well as in abstract reasoning and all, you get very less time to solve every question, right? That doesn't mean that you have only that much time to solve that question. Sometimes you'll take less than the stipulated time, sometimes you'll take more than the stipulated time. That is completely okay. And sometimes you'll have to unfortunately skip a few questions also. But in UCAT, you can skip the question only after you mark a question, because who knows? It might be the correct answer. But don't struggle too much to answer each and every question. The tests are designed in a way that you cannot solve all the questions. So how many can you solve in the stipulated time and how many guesses become correct? That is what will decide your selection later. Okay, so that was about IMAT logical reasoning.